Okay, we are live, and we just finished, or actually, these two fellas just finished. I watched it earlier this morning, episode 2 of season 3 of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Now, I will first point out I was right. I said this episode was going to start off, the first thing you're going to see was Carol. Now, I do think it was kind of, I don't know, it seemed like kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
There was no real searching for Carol. Like it was just like, here's Carol, and then 10 seconds later, oh, Daryl finds her. When that was the big cliffhanger at the end of episode 1, so I feel like they should have done a little more with that. I kind of thought they were going to at first. Now, I'll throw this out there too. Obviously, spoiler alerts. If you haven't watched it and you care about that, go watch it first. And then come back and watch this. But when Carol saw the couple at the beginning, at first I thought she was hallucinating. And then obviously she wasn't. But what are you guys' first thoughts after? I've had a little more time to kind of sit and think about it. Yeah. What are your guys' first thoughts after watching it?
It was definitely interesting. Whenever the race happened, I was surprised because it wasn't her. It was someone else.
Yeah. I was expecting it to be her too. I thought that was a little bit of a twist I wasn't expecting. So, I mean, that seemed like the logical thing. You know, it's this couple, they're in love and they don't want to be separated, and so obviously you're going to have her be the one that's chosen, and then it's going to set up this whole big thing where he has to stop her from being taken. It's like a kind of like a love story, but that didn't happen. So that was definitely a shock. How about you, TGK?
I like how Daryl goes like Carol's talking about oh, look at them, they're so perfect. Then Daryl's like, I'm gonna go steal from them.
Yeah. Carol is very much more of the, which Carol has flopped back and forth several times. Carol has
Alpha.
Gone back. What?
Carol with Alpha.
Well, I mean, there was a time where Carol was very pacifist when we first saw her, right? With Ed, she didn't fight back. She was just, she was essentially a doormat for him. And then she finally starts fighting back, standing up for herself and stuff, and she develops into this really strong character. And then she falls back into being kind of a weak, not wanting to do anything, avoiding all confrontation, and then she comes back into being this really strong, aggressive character again, and then it kind of goes back. So this is back and forth that happens somewhat frequently with her, which is interesting to see. And I think we've got a little bit of a balance with her in this season, because she's not quite the not quite the background character, just letting stuff happen and not worrying about doing anything. She is, you can tell, she's already thinking about how she's going to take steps to, resolve this issue, right? But she's doing it in a way to kind of be more of a help to other people. That's not even her group necessarily.
Yeah, also, while we were watching, I remember Sophia saw the cat and she's like, that's my favorite character. And then she saw the pigs. Those are my favorite character.
That doesn't surprise me.
Also, after Daryl's like, I'm going to go rob them. Those guys come. Daryl saves them. He's like, fine, I'll save them. And then he immediately holds the dude gunpoint.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting one because I think we see this set up a little bit in some of the trailers for going forward. We see this set up a little bit where Daryl just wants to be done. He just wants to get home, but Carol is wanting to go back or to help them. And Daryl kind of gets sucked into that because Carol wants to do that. What else? Is there any other parts that stuck out to you guys? Anything
That
you thought
there's
would be
always, no matter like where they go, there's always someone that speaks English.
Well, that's not terribly hard to believe though. That's a pretty common thing throughout the rest of the world. A lot of people speak English. So that's not terribly uncommon. Alrighty. I don't think anything else. I mean, we saw some cool fights with weapons. Again, at the end with Daryl with the sword. But I think that's it. I mean, there wasn't really anything else that stood out. It was kind of an okay episode. I mean, it wasn't like amazing, but it was decent. But you guys have anything else you want to throw out there before we call this one to a close?
I don't know if I like the community that they ended up with. I'm not sure if these guys seem pretty chill, or these guys are definitely like the worst people ever.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about them. I mean, I get, you have to make decisions, you have to make sacrifices sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's like that seems like a little too much, a little over the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what happens if they end up deciding to let Daryl and Carol kind of fight with them and push back against this larger group. I'm starting to think that Daryl and Carol will never get back to Alexandria because
they're just gonna live their lives in the middle of the ocean. Then randomly they'll crash onto some foreign country's land.
Or if you guys have never watched this, and this is not a family-friendly show, but there's a show called Sons of Anarchy, and in the show, the main character literally spends like the entire series of the show trying to get out of this motorcycle club, and every single time that he does, something happens that keeps pulling him back into it, and then finally at the very end, he just, again, spoiler alert, if you've not seen Sons of Anarchy and you want to see it, this is going to absolutely spoil the entire show for you, but he ends up self-deleting in a very crazy way.
He put a metal fork in an outlet.
Yep, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it. But no, it's it again, like I said, it's kind of similar where I feel like they're going to keep trying to get back to the U.S. and something's going to keep pulling them back unless we get like a bigger like reunion show where they're in it. I think unless something like that happens, it's going to be done. They're not ever going to probably see Daryl and Carol back in the States. But
that seems pretty likely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is it for this one. Make sure you come back again. Next week, we will be probably around the same time, same place, obviously, and we'll be reviewing the next episode, giving our first thoughts as we watch it. It'll be good stuff, great stuff, interesting stuff. And we've got some other Walking Dead content we are working on. It's in the works right now, making a case for seasons 9 through 11 as being some of the best Walking Dead. I'm going to present a case for it. I think it's the case. I think it is true. And some other stuff as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. And always remember, there is no sanctuary.
He said that.